Okay, I'm going to call to order Thursday, January 20th, 2022 meeting of Springfield Historical Commission. Commissioners Walsh, Commissioners Walter Kroll, Brian McFarland, and Al Nardi are currently in the meeting. In order to enable municipal government to continue its important work during the COVID-19 pandemic, let me put this where I can read it a bit quicker. While assuring both city employees and citizens can satisfy CDC social distancing guidelines, the city of Springfield is providing public notice of public hearing utilizing remote technology. Copies of said petitions, text, maps may be requested by email or phone. Email should be directed to the Office of Planning and Economic Development at aallen@springfieldcityhall.com or by calling 413-787-6020. To view the public hearing, it's on the Focus Springfield Community TV website. Public commentary will be also taken in two segments. The first public comment period will be taking place prior to the meeting discussion. The second public comment period take place after the meeting and remain open for 24 hours. To provide for public comment in writing, mail Springfield Store Commission 70 Tapley Street, Springfield, Mass. 01104, or email aallen@springfieldcityhall.com. And to provide for public comment by voicemail, 413-750-3223. Messages received will be played at the Historical Commission hearing or at the continued hearing date. All commenters should state their name, address, and company or organizational affiliation in addition to the items their comments pertain to. Voice messages received 24 hours before the hearing will be put into the record during the public hearing, and comments after the meeting will be entered at the continued hearing date. Voice messages are limited to 2 minutes. Request a reasonable accommodation and or language services, please call 413-787-6020. Okay, well, let's get right to what we're doing here. We have continued public hearings, 89 Ferglade. The owner of 89 Ferglade with us.
It's Mr. Joe Eady.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Can you unmute yourself, Mr. Eady?
Okay, this application, and just for the record, Commissioner Judith Kroll just joined the meeting. Okay, is Mr. Eady?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there you are. Okay. This is an application for certificate of appropriateness. Replace the windows with Genwell's Zap-Pack 9/1 windows.
Yeah, there is two. I submit two because one of them were going to take longer than the other, but I was trying to get both of them to be approved because they were both on the list that I can use.
Okay. Is there any? No, let me just look at my notes. The only thing I don't have a note on, hopefully, Joe, you can just refresh my memory, is what if they were going to be grids on them or not?
No, there were not going to be any grids on them because the ones that was taken out did not have grids.
Okay,
The ones
these were all, right, these were all 1/1s.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought so. Just double checking. Any commissioners have any questions? For the petitioner? No, hearing none. Was there any public commentary on this, Alvin?
No public commentary on this particular matter.
Okay. Okay, if I'm hearing none, I would entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness at 89 Ferglade Avenue to replace the windows with the Genwell Zap-Pack 1/1s. Let me just see if I can be more specific here.
Commissioner Walsh, so that the two items that he has proposed are not original to what he originally put on the application.
Okay, yeah, but I think these two were in there at the last meeting. They just weren't what was written. So this motion would have to include the type, the name of the, these are Anderson Unit 100 single hung insert, no flange or accessory unit. And the other one is an Anderson 400 series double hung. So I would entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness at 89 Glade Ave for the installation of the Anderson 100 series single hung unit or the Anderson 400 series double hung insert. Black exterior frame, black exterior sash in both cases. That's okay. I think that covers it. If someone would like to make that.
So moved.
Okay. Motion. Is there a
Second by Al Nardi.
Okay. Thank you.
Second by Al Nardi.
Thank you, Al. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Let me call the vote. Commissioner Judith Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Al Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Brian McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll,
Yes.
and Commissioner Walsh is a yes. Okay, you are cleared for those particular model windows to be installed.
Okay, thanks very much, commissioners, and thanks for working with me. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Keep sticking with
Good
it.
luck, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I would ask that everybody be a little patient with me today. The COVID has kind of gotten in the way of my files there in a roundabout way. And so, but I just have a little bit of housekeeping to do before I call the next one here. Yeah, the next one is east side of 271 Pine Street, revised plans to recently approved single-family home.
Yes, sir. Jose Claudio, 100 Clayton Street, Springfield,
Thank you,
Northeastern Initiative.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? Is there any changes since we last spoke?
No, sir, none at all.
Okay. Are there any questions from commissioners? Was there any public commentary, Alvin?
No, there's no public commentary for this particular matter.
Okay, if there's nothing else to add, I would entertain an application, a motion to approve the application for certificate of appropriateness for the single-family residence, 271 Pine, is it 1 or 4? 271 Pine Street in Springfield to amend the plan as presented at the prior meeting.
And again, just to be specific, yeah, I'm sorry.
How
Just to be specific, this is a modification to the rear of the structure.
Right, and it's because of the way that the property falls off, they've redesigned the staircase and the walkout and a couple other odds and ends there in the deck, I believe.
Yes, sir.
It's a little bit different. I mean, I can refer to the plan. Hold on, let me see if we have a plan number here. I guess I don't really have a plan number that I could refer to.
Test, test.
Any, Anyway, I would entertain that motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness for the single-family resident to amend the plan, the original plan approved on September 3rd to allow for changes to the deck and the staircase and due to the lot.
Elevation.
Yeah, due to the lot.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion on that motion? All right, hearing none, we'll call the vote. Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes, and Commissioner Judith Kroll.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, you're good, buddy.
Thank you, commissioners. Thank you very much for working with us and making this happen. It's going to be a beautiful house. You guys are going to enjoy it.
Thank you. We're looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Okay, the next is the application for certificate of appropriateness at 281 State Street for lead abatement, replacing all the windows in the building with like the wood to vinyl, same number of panes and matching colors. Who's here representing this? one?
Jason Scott.
Okay, is there any changes to this since we heard this?
Nope.
No changes, okay. Any commissioners have any questions regarding the 281 State Street?
I just had two questions. One thing that came up last time, I know the contractor was on, he had said that the Vinyl Max windows that were listed had been used on Mulberry Street, maybe a couple of other places that the commission had approved. Alvin, do we know that? Have we kind of confirmed that?
I didn't get the addresses, so I'm not sure.
Okay. He'd kind of referenced that. And the second piece is I thought he was going to bring or show like what the window itself would look like if it's in an existing place or if there was a whole window. I think might have been Commissioner Nardi that had kind of described it. So we could just see what the entire window would look like.
With the panes in it.
Yeah. Yep, from like the outside.
Yeah, he didn't supply that for me. He just told me they were gonna look exactly like the ones that are in there now. We're putting a childcare in there, so we just have to make sure that there's no lead in the building.
Exactly.
We understand
The
that.
problem with exactly like is it usually doesn't mean exactly like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's why we usually look for a picture or that window in an existing building, just so you can kind of see what it's going to look like from the outside.
right.
How big's the sash? Where does it sit?
Yeah, so these are all going to be black.
They're gonna be brown to match the ones that are in there now.
I'm just looking at it looks black in the pictures, but brown, okay.
Yeah, because that's like a stock photo of the actual window, but when they build the windows out, they build them out to specifications of the panes and everything that we ask for to match the current building.
Okay. And I noticed that some of them, now what were the lights going to be on these? Are they going to, I mean, because they're not all the same around the building.
Yeah, they all have to be custom.
So they're going to be duplicating the lights, whatever they see there will be.
Right.
Each one will be duplicated.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking originally at just delighting the building, but I have pictures of the windows themselves, and a lot of them are just like falling apart and rotten, and there's really nothing else we can do besides.
Let me ask you a question. Are there any, do you think any of the windows are salvageable? Or is that just not a?
So, I mean, oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I know you sent pictures, but it was just minutes ago, so I.
Yeah, I could share them if
put
you would.
them up on my screen. I think Alvin could share them with us.
Yeah. I could share them too, or, you know.
Yeah, if you have them readily available, can you share them, Mr.
Yeah,
Westcott?
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Share them. I just am not, I mean, I know that Al Nardi pointed out that I was looking at that window, the one, the one illustrated here. And it does have it does sit low on the frame, so.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah, sure. Yep, go ahead.
Can you see it on my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the one one of the ones in the back. See, it's all the wood's coming off and falling apart. Another one has held together by like a 2x4 there.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah. Another one, like it's all rotten on the bottom. I mean, it's not really safe to have kids in a building like that. So we want to get it safe and energy efficient if we can. It's all rotten wood. Another one that the pane is broken off there.
Yeah.
Another one that wood's falling off of this one too. So
Okay.
it took like 10 pictures.
Yeah.
Kind of just to give you guys a idea of what it looked like.
So, no, that's okay. We know that's a difficult thing to do. It's just, our first preference is if say you had 20 windows that actually were in good condition, we'd rather see you restore them than replace them.
Yeah, we had actually a
Suppose
second
there's-
person look today, and they said the cost to restore them would be like $3,000 a window. And that's that's even if they can restore them. And there's like 40 windows on that building.
Yeah.
Because it's so much detail, like to get it, you have to, whatever they do to bondo it or to fix those panes and.
Well, that's obviously that's something we've heard before, but we also know that there are restoration services dramatically lower than that. But that's neither here nor there because somebody who does it for less than that didn't talk to you. I was just asking for your honest opinion on whether some of them were salvageable or not.
I own the daycare. I'm not really I'm not really a finished carpenter, but
okay.
Yeah, I could just tell by eyeballing it what they look like.
All right, commissioners, have any questions for Mr. Westcott? And I just want to make sure the colors are on this. I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness to replace the windows. I don't have, with Eclipse series. Hold on, I'm trying to get a number. I'm not seeing a specific number. It must be one in here somewhere.
Says Vinyl Max Eclipse Series. I'm not sure if there's specific.
I'm thinking you would think there'd be a model number. Series indicates that there's more than one-ish version.
Yeah.
Okay. Just give me a minute to look at this again.
I don't see a number anywhere, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Westcott, you don't happen to have a more specific number of which window?
I'm trying to find out from him right now. Hold on one second.
Okay. Because we actually can't approve it without a specific. So we'll wait.
Alvin, the address that I think George had provided was 128, 130 Mulberry Street.
Let me look into it. If it was a city-owned project, or not city-owned, but it was a city project, city-funded project, I think it was their windows were Radiance Plus, so I don't believe it was the same window.
And these are going to be, you said they're going to be brown. I mean bronze.
Yeah, it would be bronze.
Okay. All right, well. if we
He
can
just
get-
sent me pictures of the ones he installed at 98 Randolph Street. Is that one of the ones on the list? I don't know if the same ones that he's putting in here. I could share those on the screen.
No, all I'm looking for is, I don't mind that, but I'm
Okay.
just looking for a specific model number, because if we voted for a series and then you could pick whatever one out of there you wanted, we just have to have a specific model number. If you heard that last application, you had two different model numbers and we had to make it part of the motion.
4,700.
Okay, let me just write this down.
Sorry about that.
Clips series 4,700. So show the picture, whatever picture you just got, put it up there.
Okay.
Might as well take a look at it.
Can you see it?
Not yet. It takes a second there. Hopefully it'll pop up here. Can't see it yet, though. Nothing.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I have a few of them. Let me know. We want me to switch the page.
Yeah, whatever. Just, go through what you have. We
There's
might as
more of a
well-
closer look here.
Okay,
I mean, that was 98 Randolph Street.
okay. All right, thank you for that. If there's no other comments or questions for Mr. Westcott, I'd entertain a motion to accept the application of certificate of appropriateness at 281 State Street to install Eclipse Series 4,700 windows with the bronze exterior. He said brown, but looks like they're offering it in white, bronze, and black.
Oh, maybe bronze and brown. Maybe it's probably bronze in. Whatever
Okay.
one's the closest to what's there. I think he said brown, but maybe he got it mixed up with bronze. But yeah, it's gonna be bronze, I guess.
Okay, well, brown would be okay too, I think. Okay, somebody want to
So-
make that motion?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Judith. Any discussion on the motion?
So the only point of clarification would be any of the windows that have stiles or grids, that they be external, not
Yes.
internal grids.
Okay, yes. All right, we could real quick amend the motion to make sure that the grids are duplicated. If somebody'd like to do that.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second,
Okay, this vote will just be for the amendment.
Yes.
So I'm just going to do a voice, all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Thank you. To amend the motion so that your grid patterns will be the same as what's there. So now on the original motion, hearing no more discussion, we call the vote on this. Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll,
Yes,
Commissioner Walsh is yes, Commissioner Judith Kroll,
Yes.
and Al Nardi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next, 108 School Street. This is an application for certificate of hardship to replace a slate roof with gray architectural shingle asphalt, 25 years. slate color is not available and cost is approximately 8 times the cost of asphalt shingles. Okay. Who's representing 108 School Street?
Commissioner Walsh, I don't see the property owner or a representative on the call.
Okay, let me put that aside. Just remind me if they pop in to go back to it. And next we have okay. Now what's happening with 111 Dartmouth?
So I received an email from the attorney earlier today stating that they wanted to have their item tabled until they can get more information to provide to the commission. I'm not sure if they're going to have that information prior to the 60-day time frame. So I asked if they wanted to keep their item on the agenda or if they wanted to withdraw, but I never received an answer back.
Okay,
All I know is that they won't be on the call for tonight.
okay, well, we have some time for another meeting to not run out of the 60 days, so I would prefer to continue as opposed to table. And if we have to table or change something at the next meeting, because this is a do we get one? Yeah. This one's the date received was 12/22. So we have at least another, right? I think 2 meetings are going to fit in there. So as opposed to tabling, I'd entertain a motion to continue the application for a certificate of appropriateness or hardship. Not sure which one, at 111 Dartmouth Terrace.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion?
Now, Commissioner Walsh, there is a letter that was sent to me today in regards to this. Do you want to withhold that letter until the?
I don't think there's any need to enter it into the record now.
Okay.
If that's okay, unless you think we should. I think it's okay. I read it. It's what it is. We can enter it at the beginning of the next meeting.
Okay.
And I'd rather enter it while they're on the meeting.
No problem.
Okay. Okay, so let me just call the roll on this. I'll yes to continue. Commissioner Judith Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Al Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Brian McFarland,
Yes.
and Commissioner Walter Kroll.
Yes.
We're going to continue the next meeting. Anybody know off the top of their head?
Sorry, what was the question?
So what's the date of the next meeting?
Meeting.
I don't happen to have a calendar in front of me.
Yeah, February 3rd.
Okay. We'll continue that, and then if we have to do something different in the next one, we will. So no one here for School Street? Take a peek at it, just so we'll know what it is. Application for certificate of hardship relative to the roof. Switch and get rid of the slate and replacing it with architectural. And the date of this is also not going to time out on us. Are you able to reach out to them or are we not able to?
I don't have any information on hand.
Okay. All right, well, then I entertain a motion to continue this application as well. Application for certificate of hardship at 108 School Street regarding replacing the slate roof with architectural shingles.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, hold on, let me do a little housekeeping here. Okay, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Sorry. The other.
Sorry. It's
Commissioner.
always ladies
Okay.
first. It was supposed to be Commissioner Judith Kroll first. I apologize.
That's okay.
Okay.
Let me go back to it. Commissioner Judith Kroll.
Yes.
Commissioner Al Nardi.
My name is Al Kroll. Yes.
I love it.
Commissioner Brian McFarland.
What's the spelling?
I know.
Is this Brian with an I, A, or a Y? I know it's Y, Brian. I'm just joking. Commissioner McFarland? Okay, and Commissioner Walsh. Let me think, who should I be? I vote yes as well. So we'll continue that. Okay. We have two new public hearings. And for the public hearings, if it's your first time, you know, with the Zoom thing going on, that we don't take a vote, so we can allow for public commentary, and any vote, we'll continue each of these files, and any vote will happen at the next meeting. So the first is an application for certificate of appropriateness at 223 Long Hill Street, installation of 8.4 kilowatt solar system. This is for Gene Haley. Is Gene on with us?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Walsh, you skipped one. It's 51 Washington Road should be the first item.
Hi, we're here for 51 Washington Road.
Sorry. Okay, back me up.
That's okay.
I just had him in the wrong order there.
Okay.
So back up. We're not doing Long Hill. We're doing Washington. Okay, this is an application. This doesn't say the application. It doesn't say appropriate hardship non-applicability. So I think it would be under appropriate. Yes, anyway, so I'm going to mark it appropriate unless we change that for some reason. This is an application for certificate of appropriateness, 51 Washington Road, to install 16-panel roof-mounted solar array with disconnect junction box, microinverters tied to existing electrical system. Okay, who's here to speak on it?
I'm Karen Robichaud. I'm in charge of permitting for Devlin Contracting, and with me is Thomas Janowski, and he is head of design.
Okay, just tell us, you know, I mean, I don't know if either of you have been before us before.
Not with this particular committee, but we've definitely been on a bunch of different.
Okay. I mean, our goal, when you describe what's happening, our goal is generally to have it minimally visible, you know, it is possible in the historic district, and it's, you know, not just I mean, obviously panels are going to be visible in some manner or another, but all the other paraphernalia, the junction disconnect and things like that. So just if you could just explain how this system is going to be there, it'd be great. I'm kind of looking through it. If you could take us through it.
Certainly. So I'm on the PV1 sheet of our plan document that we submitted.
Okay.
We have proposed to install on 4 roof surfaces. The building for two of the roof surfaces are too high where you can't actually see them from the road. And the only visible one on this is a 2-story home, is the pitch that is facing the southern exposure as you drive down Washington Street. Mm-hmm. And so it is a 2-story home with a decent, you know, shallow pitch to it, where, you know, you have to get back at least 100 or so yards to go up there and see. Okay. They are generally black on black. They're mounted no higher than 4 inches off the roof. And the shingle color here is black. So, you know, preferable color, a little bit aged. So weathered, I would call it weathered black or grayish, but, you know, it started as black.
Yeah, that's fine.
So no visible roof piping, and it comes down. Typically with all of our installations, we look to take an interior conduit run that is minimally exposed or mimics the existing electrical service drop infrastructure. And the only equipment we locate on the outside of the home is the ones that are required by the utility code, which would be the disconnect and the meter socket and the shutdown equipment.
Okay. Do you have any illustration as to where they would be?
Yes, they're on the front left corner of the home, right next to the existing utility meter, which is the utility governs that rule. It says the shutdown equipment must be within 4 feet or line of sight of the utility meter. So it's a generic placement, and we're putting the minimum required things outside by that utility arrangement there.
But you don't have a picture of the front of the house. Alvin, is there any chance you can get a picture of the front of the house?
Yeah, can we share our screen? We have a Google Street View up.
Oh, yeah, perfect. That's what Alvin would have just done for us, so.
Yeah, we're ready at the waiting, so.
Yeah,
how
go
do we
ahead.
do it? All right, we'll do a share.
Anybody can share.
Perfect.
Shouldn't say that, but.
All right, so this is what we're looking at here, everybody. Can you see my screen?
You can.
All right, so, we're looking at the home here. And as we go over this direction, the existing utility infrastructure was stated to be on the side of the home. So right now they were proposing to install it here, but to tell you the truth, it doesn't look like that's where the utility meter is. So let me check on this side of the home.
Is it maybe still be in the house?
Yeah, so right now the utility is requiring us to do these generic meter moves from inside to outside as part of solar projects. So I believe that was part of the scope of work here too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of underground services here in Springfield, and the utility is now pushing contractors that go solar to, basically place financial hardship and cost on customers, which is not great. So utility meter is inside in the corner here and has to be moved outside.
Okay. Hey, just leave that picture up for me there for a sec.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and will any exterior conduit be able to be painted to match the paint of the house?
It certainly can. So we have a gambrel style here. So the trick is to come down in the back and go in through the basement so that we have none visible from the outside front exposure of the home. So any panel runs are going to go back down the rear of the home, and they're going to enter in through the basement to come out where the shut-off equipment is. So we won't have any exterior conduit that will be going down any of these, obtrusive looking bends here that would be exposed in the front of the house.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just a little concerned about that meter location.
Yeah, it's definitely an unfortunate thing the utilities are making us do right now. If we were to choose, we would group it all in the interior, and that would also help with your entire guidelines as well.
Yeah. Is it possible to get a specific location for us at some time?
For the exact meter?
Yeah. I mean,
so right now in the plan set, it is on the plan set for construction. Having, thought about seeing it now underneath this air conditioner window, it's not ideal. And, I could work with the utility to find a different placement for it. The tough part with the utility is the reason they're making everyone move things outside is because for safety and for visibility, they want their equipment outside for access, which didn't used to be the rule. So now, anytime somebody does a new service in the utility Eversource here, they are requiring contractors to move these meters and relocate them outside, which is now causing hardship because redoing an underground service through a concrete road or any type of infrastructure with the existing electrical way that Springfield has it done, they switch these to overhead and basically put overhead service drops on all of these underground homes.
Yeah. Well, they're not doing overhead service drops in the historic district.
Yeah, so I think that would be a great motion for us. We have it currently in the engineering review process with the utility. And we always do that to make sure we absolutely don't have to move this meter. So this would be a good cause for hardship on the customer to state that we do not have to abide by that rule.
Well, yeah, I'm just, here's my concerns, and I'd like the owner and you guys to, is just what can the homeowner do to kind of, I'm using the word remediate, but that's not quite what I mean, is just to minimize the visibility if the placement is such that, we don't want it on the front of the house, I can tell you that.
Right.
And the right side or the south side of the house, there's a driveway's right there. So they're not going to want somebody side swiping stuff with their mirrors.
No, they don't.
And or crashing into them. I don't know what the alternative is, really. I mean, Yes, go ahead,
Commissioner
Commissioner
Wa-
Nardi.
From the drawings, it looks like they're planting all that on the left side on the flag side of that photograph.
That's
Right, but
exactly
he was
what
just saying, that that window's probably not an ideal. I know, that's where it's planned. But
proposed. Yeah.
is there any potential to move it farther back on that wall or anything? I don't know. I'm asking if you would at least consult with them.
So
Well,
it's physically possible. And now with, extra feedback from this group, we could prepare to figure out, I mean, maybe this wire here might be cable. I don't know if you guys can all see the screen.
Let's see it.
So this looks like the overhead service existing here. So maybe we just have this diagrammed improperly and didn't move it all the way to the corner of the house where it actually is. So this is actually promising now that, I'm being totally transparent here with this group. Looks like we misdiagrammed where it is, and this would be much further back in reality.
If you get it further back and past the steps, it would be much less noticeable.
Then you could plant something there or something to make it less visible, but that would be something we'd be interested in hearing about.
Okay, we could certainly move it on the diagrams and then physically get it for construction there. The parts of the system that aren't safety shut off could also go behind the fence. And then the two pieces are generic meter socket and AC disconnect with minimum footprint, just look like the standard electrical meter that's on most people's houses. That equipment would be a minimal footprint right here. And
well, I'd certainly prefer that type of potential. Any information you can get on that, it'd be greatly appreciated. But that's pretty straightforward. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Not at the moment.
Okay, no, you got good plans here. Everything's in there. If you could look into that, we would like that. And if there's nothing else, any commissioners have any other comments or questions? I mean,
I would just mention, I wouldn't get your hopes up about that being your electrical service. That's most likely copper lines or coaxial because it's in the historic district. Horizon pole, probably.
Most of them are underground. I would have that information here on file. Let me see. So yeah, Karen says she physically has checked. That is the overhead service.
I believe it's an overhead service.
Okay.
What's it coming in from behind the house then?
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the pictures where I see.
It's okay.
Well,
We'll double check that information and
Either way, the problem that we've kind of discussed is, it's the same one where no matter where the electricity is coming from, but it would certainly be easier if it was coming from the back, wouldn't it?
certainly, yeah. So we will update the plan drawings and we'll get with the utility to make sure that is all possible. And of course, recommend to the homeowner that, part of this commission is stating, a planting there would be the pathway forward for the electrical equipment there.
Yeah, minimally visible. And so at this point, I'd entertain a motion to continue the application for a certificate of appropriateness at 51 Washington Road for the installation of a roof-mounted solar array to allow for public commentary.
So moved.
Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Let me call the roll. Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Brian McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes, and Commissioner Judith Kroll.
Yes.
Okay, we've continued that to allow for public commentary, and we'll see you at the February 3rd meeting.
Thank you.
Hopefully you can give us, if you find out any other information, that'd be great, and then we'll discuss it then.
All right, we'll submit an updated plan document with that correction.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, 223 Long Hill.
Yes, I'm here to represent the Haleys. They submitted a letter that I can
They
speak
did.
on their behalf.
You sure can. Thank you. I'm pretty sure that Jean Haley knows our,
Yes, she
She sat on the
Very
commission
highly
for a
of you all.
long time.
She's a good woman.
Yes, so this is an application for certificate of appropriateness, 223 Long Hill Street, installation of a solar system. So if you would like to just tell us what you're doing, it'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna do it 8.4, and good to see you all again. This is I think my fourth time coming through here for this.
We've seen you before, yeah.
Yes. 8.4 kilowatt system. We're actually gonna go onto the detached barn that's fairly set back in their property.
Yep.
We are doing, I think it was, I just counted 17 or 18 panels.
Yep.
As you can see on the heat signature report, it's a very good spot for them. We're gonna punch, so they have a meter on that building already, so we don't have to go back to the house, which is nice. So we're gonna punch out of the barn just about 4 feet above where the existing meter is and put our equipment right next to it, so it'll kind of all blend together.
Yep.
Same type of conduit and whatnot. And it's pretty straightforward.
It is. It looks like it's minimally, going to be minimally visible anyways.
Yeah, that I don't know if you guys are familiar with the property, but that barn is far back. It's tilted to the side. You'd have to really be looking for it to see it.
Yeah, I just drove by there like 2 hours ago. I have to drive by it again and see if I can even see the barn.
Yeah.
It's, I think this is pretty straightforward. It's, in my opinion, minimally visible as it is.
The only thing that would be different from this one that opposed to the other ones is that I can't paint the conduit because there's no paint.
No paint to match the barn board?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Well, it would be paintable anyway if they decided they thought something could match.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know that, you got this, all the information's here.
No trench work. We don't, it's nothing crazy with this one, which is great.
This one's, I think, I don't know, I think I have all the information I need on this. So any questions from commissioners for Mr. McCormick?
Just a piece of information for you guys too. So listening to the other company's proposal.
Yep.
For Eversources for their trench work that they have to do from the street. They don't actually, they're not doing that for any of us until after April when the ground isn't frozen. So those are taking some time. I don't know if they knew that or not, but.
Okay, well, I ought to make a note and ask them next 2 weeks from now. No questions, hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to continue the application for a certificate of appropriateness, 223 Long Hill Street for the installation of the solar system.
So move.
Second.
Okay. Okay, let me start. Okay, let me call the vote. Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes, and Commissioner Judith Kroll.
Yes.
Okay,
You guys said that next meeting is on the 3rd, right?
yes.
Okay, great. And I'll put my, I'm just recently became the assistant district manager for Western Massachusetts. I'll put my name and number in the chat if any of you guys ever want to talk or have any questions about any of the projects we've already done, where they are, what they look like. All right. See you guys then. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick. Okay. Let's see, what's next here? Preservation of historically significant buildings, 457, 469 Main Street, demolition of a commercial building for additional parking. This is a demo delay. Who's here to speak?
I am Tony Calabrese.
Okay. Oh, it's right here, Antonio Calabrese. Gotcha.
Antonio Calabrese.
Yeah. Additional parking, remove dilapidated building, the lack of quality tenants. Okay, it seems that it's pretty straightforward. It's just a one-story.
Yeah. It's a vacant building right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much an eyesore.
Yeah. What our determination is if it's has historic significance or if it's going to be detrimental to the neighborhood to remove it and things like that.
Yep.
The commissioners want to jump in if anybody has any questions, if you've seen the pictures.
So if anybody's not familiar with the property, it's right next to AC Produce. So this will be providing additional parking for AC Produce.
Corner of Rutledge.
It's Main and Rutledge.
Yeah, Main and Rutledge. Alvin, any chance you can pull up the street for us?
Give me just a moment.
I know that there's a lot of, it's not, you're kind of off the not historic might not be the proper word, but you know, you're farther south off of Main Street.
That's the pawn shop spot there?
Yeah. Yes.
I know that there's, you know, you're way past where the buildings are out on the street. They're, you know, there's a lot of parking out on the street and things like that back in that end. Just not sure exactly how far one way or another it is. And there's hold on one sec. Sorry.
It's right across the street from where Belize is doing all their.
Yeah, where Belize Mazda's going.
Yeah.
It's right across the street. And I honestly think, because I live in the South End, I think one of those buildings is actually all boarded up, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the one closest to AC Produce has a board in front of it or something.
Yeah, they're all vacant right now. There's 4 storefronts and all 4 of them are vacant.
Yeah, there are some boarded windows there. I just want to, if Alvin can pull up the street front.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the building here highlighted in red. You can see that there's not very many buildings that are still left up to the you know, Main Street frontage. I'll also give an aerial view of the area.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's already parking lots out there. Is there any significant or historically significant structure within I mean, obviously there's some houses that are way off of Main Street that could be considered that, but I mean, I'm not really seeing any, you know, the building itself is not, doesn't appear to have any historical significance.
And it's not really within a collection of buildings as it's kind of surrounded by a sea of parking.
Yeah, okay, all right. Okay, commissioners, anybody?
Anthony, did George Washington ever sleep there?
I don't think so.
Was President Polk maybe somebody or whoever it was that slept across the street?
Daniel Shays, maybe Shays Rebellion, somebody,
Rebellion? Yeah.
Anybody?
I think I knew a guy who slept in a front step there one time.
I think he was selling milk.
Anyway, you know, Alvin, we don't do these this often, and I forget the procedure. Is this subject to public commentary? Or we can
vote on this? You guys could vote on it tonight. And you're basically voting to waive the demo delay ordinance, essentially.
Right. Instead of making them wait 9 months, they can move forward, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to waive the demo delay ordinance for 459-469 Main Street.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion to waive it as opposed, the motion is to let it go? Hearing none, let me call the vote. Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Vincent Walsh is yes. Commissioner Judith Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Al Nardi?
Yes.
Okay, that was an easy one.
Thank you, commissioners.
Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. All right, now, the only thing left on there, other matters properly before the commission, is Clarendon Street. And we just get an update from the Attorney Shuchuk.
So for the next two items, 90 Clarendon Street and 121 Dartmouth Terrace, basically, Attorney Shuchuk and I are supposed to meet up. However, I have been out for the last couple of weeks on COVID leave, so we have been unable to meet for those reasons. So,
which is why I was a little short of files there. I was a little disorganized. Alvin keeps me very organized on the files, but he's been out. So I found, I felt the pain of not having Alvin around. You got to get him back to work. So go ahead. It's you guys
so
are
essentially at some point we'll get together and I can get folders to Attorney Shuchuk, but at this moment I just haven't been in the office.
And I don't want you to be anywhere near me either, because I saw you that day and I had to stay home for 5 days too. So anyway, I'm good though. Anything else on the agenda?
Nope, that's all.
Okay. I think I would entertain that motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, I'm set. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too,
Night,
Judy.
y'all.
Nice to see you.
Night, all trolls
Good night.
and non-trolls.